Courtney Cox here with Marcus Omard, and it is time to talk soccer. A trending story worldwide. Unless you've been living underneath a rock, you've probably heard that Wayne Rooney is leaving Manchester United, heading to Everton. A huge story. Why is this so important for the 31-year-old and for fans everywhere?
Well, this is Wayne Rooney is probably England's biggest talent in over 30 years, and this includes David Beckham and all those guys that came 10, 15 years ago. He's a superstar and has been since the age of 16. He broke into Everton, scored a great goal, and was straight up from there. And he became Manchester United's all-time leading goal scorer over his 13-year career. And then all of a sudden he decides it's time to leave and go back to Everton. This is downright biblical. This is the story of the prodigal son leaving, doing things, and then coming home. So it's not so much shocking because we kind of expected him to leave Manchester United for a while, but it's still a huge story.
So there's a lot of reasons why he left Manchester United, but in your opinion, what was the number one reason that caused him to make this move?
Well, it's really just being a fated force. About 4 years ago, Manchester United's legendary former manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, said that Rooney had asked to leave the club. And that was sort of that was the second time Rooney had threatened to leave Manchester United. But what happened at that time was we started wondering, are Rooney's best days behind him? He was only about 27 at the time, so it was, you would expect him to be at his peak years, but when Ferguson left and retired, he left it up to the next manager to decide what to do with Rooney. Well, he gave him a 5-year contract as the highest paid player in the Premier League. Within 2 years, that looked like a bad move. So this has been a slow decline for Rooney.
So we're kind of seeing parallels here. It's like the LeBron James heading back to Cleveland situation.
Yes.
So why head back to Everton? Obviously, there's a lot of emotion there, but do you think that he can go and make Everton, a better team like LeBron James did in basketball?
No, he won't have that impact. It's similar to not so much Marshawn Lynch, who was retired, but players wanting to play at home. Wayne Rooney said he slept in his Everton pajamas for 13 years. His kids are all Everton fans. These are all the while he was a Manchester United legend. So it's really the club of his heart that he's going back to, and they have a new owner with new money and new ambition. So I think he wants to be along for that ride. Maybe he'll get them to a new stadium.
Well, we were talking about the press conference and how he was talking about the pajamas.
Yeah.
And we were like, was he kidding? Was he serious? I think he was serious. You think he was serious?
He sure looked serious.
Who doesn't like a nice pajama set? We were talking about that. I love a good pajama set.
Everton pajamas, I don't know if I could.
I don't think I would either, but that's a story for another day. But you talk about he's 31 now.
Yeah.
Retirement plans. What does this move say about that for Rooney?
Well, he signed a 2-year contract, so you would expect him to be there for at least 1 year. And then if he wants to go on a new adventure, maybe MLS, maybe China, he could get a year or two out of that. But I don't expect Wayne Rooney to be playing much longer. He's got all the money in the world. He doesn't need to go somewhere and prove anything. He's already England's all-time leading scorer, Manchester United's all-time leading scorer. So I think this is just a move to go home and end his career on his own terms.
A nice swan song for Rooney.
That's right.
All right, well, that will do it for us here. As always, great stuff from Marcus. You want to follow along with him on Twitter at MKOmard or myself at Cox Courtney. But make sure to keep it locked in right here at NESN.com. We have all your soccer news. No matter what the season, no matter what the time, we've got you covered.